Hello. I have a question regarding manifesting the ideal mate. I've been praying, treasure mapping, doing everything I know how to do to manifest that person. It still has not come.
Well, give it up. Well, you're going about something that really is impossible in this sense. What you're saying, and you're not alone in this, we see it often.
Right.
You say, these are the difficult places that you put yourself. Universe, I'm only going to give myself one shot at this. And so not only bring me someone who is the culmination of all that I've dreamed, but please bring someone who's the culmination of all that I might dream later too. And I don't know what to tell you about that. Just make sure that this person is perfect in all ways forevermore, because I'm going to sign an agreement that says until death do us part. And so there's no way out of this, so it's got to be right. And we say, oh, just kill me now. We think the perfect marriage vows would be, I like you pretty good, let's see how it goes. And if you will put yourself in that more free-flowing place. So what you're saying is, universe, I've been really having a wonderful time, and I've come to a place where I now believe I'm wanting to play with another. So bring someone who's ready to play with me as I am, and someone who's flexible enough to keep playing with me as I evolve. But don't ask yourself to pinpoint it. And that's the problem with that treasure mapping, is that it's the treasure mapping. You see, when you say, I want this and this and this and this and this, that's all well and good. You should be able to choose even the smallest of intentions. You get to choose it all. We're not trying to get you to not be picky. We think you should be picky. But the more detail you put on that treasure map, the more you contradict it with your lack of belief. In other words, if you, on your treasure map, you create a treasure that you've never seen anything like, that you've never been anywhere near, you set yourself up in direct contradiction. You say, please bring me this thing that I have no clue how to get. Please bring me this thing that I don't think there's a snowball's chance in hell will ever come to me. Do that, please. And we say, you gotta lighten up. You gotta say, bring me somebody to have dinner with, bring me someone to have sex with, bring me someone to go play ball with, bring me someone to have a good time with. But don't ask for the final once and forever one. Just bring me fun people to play with, and sooner or later I'll find one I want to keep. And the best part is, when I find one I want to keep, the other will be feeling the same way about me.
Okay. Thank you.
Before you go further, there's another thing we want to say about this treasure mapping process. We think it's wonderful. There are a lot of processes: goal setting, treasure mapping, making intentions, making statements of deliberate intent. In other words, we like it when you focus your mind deliberately. But we want to say to you, you've been asking, and there is a treasure map over there in vibrational escrow that has not left out anything. Not one thing is left out of what you want. And when you're chilling, when you've let it go, which was our first response to you, and you all thought we were kidding, we said, oh, just give it up. We mean it. Give up the struggle. Give up the feeling of responsibility that you have to single-handedly get out there and hone from this universe the perfect mate. Because the universe has already figured out not only who, but where and how and when. And will give you step by step, come this way, 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 impulses, unless you're fretting over the fact that you can't find it. But when you say, I can't find it, the universe is saying, come this way, and you say, did somebody say something? Good.
And one more question. My parents live in Haiti, which is, undergoing a lot of insecurity right now. And I've been praying for their security. And I feel very confident that, everything is okay and good.
That's not true.
No.
For this reason. If you knew that, you wouldn't be praying for their safety.
Right.
You would be praying with appreciation of their well-being.
Okay. So that's what I need to do. Pray for, not pray, but being grateful for their security.
Well, use a more accurate, use a different word other than pray. We don't mean replace the word pray, but right now, for the sake of helping yourself understand the vibrational nature of your prayers, use other words that describe this effort of asking. In other words, I'm pleading for their well-being. What words could you use other than the word pray? People use the word pray, sometimes meaning I'm praying with appreciation, and sometimes meaning I'm praying with desperation. But what's the emotion behind the prayer? That's what you want to tend to. And so if you began this conversation about them by talking about the disruption in Haiti. And so that is the premise from which you pray. So you've got this picture in your mind of this very devastated, very upheaval, great place of great upheaval, and then from that mindset you're praying, but it's not praying in appreciation, it's praying pleading. Where if you, in your mind's eye, see your parents, you know that they've been there for a long time, they've seen far worse than this at other times. In other words, there is upheaval happening all over the planet. And don't isolate that out as a place that gives you extra reason to feel bad. Look at the things about their life that are working, and look at their longevity, and look at how wise they are, and look at how good they've got their sea legs, and look at how they don't complain about it, and look how when they talk to you, they're not drumming up fear. In other words, if anything, you're the one that drums up the fear, and they're trying to soothe your picture of the fear. And so as you look at them from a place of well-being, and you notice the wonderful well-being that they are living even under these circumstances, you replace that with a different vibration, and now your prayer easily is one of appreciation. Thank you for the well-being that I have activated within myself in response to the way that I see my parents live, you see. There was a family some years ago physicians who had their own small airplane, and they had been studying the science of deliberate creation for a while with us, and so had their young daughter. And as they were coming in for a landing at a very small airport, they received inaccurate wind direction information, and the plane flipped over when they were landing and caught fire. And all of them got out with very minor bruises and a little bit of burning, very minor. And this mother said, Abraham, what do I tell my daughter now about us being deliberate creators? In other words, she was not very proud of their creation. And we said, are you kidding? Tell her, look how much well-being surrounds us, that we can flip an airplane upside down and set it on fire and walk away. Well-being is not about perfect circumstances. Well-being is about how I'm standing within any circumstances, and it's my vibration that brings about my outcome, not the circumstances. So never again use where they are as your basis of worry. It's not valid.
Thank you so very much. Thank you.
Thank you. I want to share something before I ask my question, simply because someone else might get something from this too. When we were at lunch, I felt the plane revving up, about to take off. And this is something I would have questioned in the past and thought maybe I was losing it. Instead, I suddenly was in the cockpit, and the throttle was in my hand, and there was this surge of power, like I was the pilot. And this huge plane was effortlessly lifting off the ground, carrying hundreds of people in tremendous safety and ease to a far destination. And if this had happened to me a year or so ago, I would have thought, wow, you shouldn't be doing things like that. But now I realize it was my inner being connecting with this spirit of joy and accomplishment, and I took it for what it was, and it really helped me clarify my questions that I was going to ask. That was the prelude to that.
Well, what it is, and you know this, but we'll put a few more words to it. This was a visual depiction, or your translation, of the vibration that you are feeling in this moment. In other words, and the reason that we are eager to have a discussion with you about it is because when, by virtue of what you give your attention to, you achieve a good feeling vibration, now that good feeling of vibration attracts to it thoughts that measure up to it. And so the words that we want to say back to you are, you can lead with your feeling. Now, that's a little tricky. It's worth writing down as a first-time statement, in fact, because we say to you that you think and then you have a feeling response to what you're thinking. And that's still true. We've been here together all morning, and we were thinking and chatting it up together, and you were thinking in response to what this conversation was about. And so the thoughts caused an emotional response within you, and then that emotional response brought the next thought. And so this is our way of saying to you, if you will really care about how you feel, and you will tend to the way you feel by choosing thoughts that feel better and better, you're going to keep soaring. And we do not think that it is an accident that this metaphor occurred in the way that it did, because you are powerful, and you are in the driver's seat, and you will carry a lot of people with you, and many will benefit, and there are endless destinations. In other words, this is the vision of one who in the moment feels unlimited. Yes.
Then the knowing sometimes is just like, it's not, but it's almost too much for someone who's not used to it.
Well, we understand that, but say it was exhilarating, and I'm going to get myself comfortably and regularly up to speed with that. Say, I liked that feeling and I will never forget it. Say, I liked it so much, I'm going to ponder it often. Say, I'm going to repeat it on such a regular basis that I actually become it.
Be a pilot in the next lifetime. Yeah. My questions
They don't have nearly that much fun.
Oh. Okay.
Somebody else chooses those routes.